Yeah, so I warmed up. I'd never done anything like this before, and less than a year
Yeah,
before
yeah,
I tried a skateboard for the first time, and I just loved the idea of travel. I fell in love with my hometown for the first time, or the town I was living
yeah,
in for 6 years, and yeah, I skated
yeah.
from John O'Groats to Land's End as a warm up, and then went to Australia and spent 5 months pushing from Perth to Brisbane.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like, so I've been to Australia myself, and I spent most of my time on the East Coast, never on the West Coast. But for people who look at Australia, like in the middle of Australia, there is absolutely nothing. So how was that like going through sort of basically hundreds and well thousands of miles of nothing in the middle? How was that
Yeah,
for you?
yeah, it was thousands of miles. I loved it. I really did. I guess the idea to do this thing came out of a need to work out not only who I was and what I was capable of, but I just needed to mix it up. I hated sitting behind a desk working for somebody else, and
Yeah,
it's a really strange breakaway. You know, I tried a skateboard, I loved it. I decided to try and break a world distance record, and it was totally out of the blue. It surprised
yeah,
everybody who knew me.
yeah, yeah,
And being in the middle of Australia, like along these long, 100-mile roads without a bend,
yeah,
it was wondrous. It was exactly
yeah,
what I was looking for, what I was hoping for. There's a lot of thinking time out there, and also I've kind of got this secret life mission to become the world's second most tan ginger after Wesley Snipes. So yeah, so I was on my way. I felt.
yeah. So when you was over there was a lot of people kind of wondering what you were doing, or did you have quite a lot of support? Because I know the Aussies are a bit like us. They're kind of like a bit laid back, and they're kind of like very sort of forthcoming and helping and things like that. Especially for us Poms, as they call us.
Yeah, I had a really great welcome from Aussies. It's super hospitable on the most part, but they also have this lovely sense of humour and this. Just imagine this idea of this red-headed English pommy skateboarding on
Yeah,
a big yellow skateboard all of the way across their country. You know, this is a journey most Australians wouldn't even consider driving, let alone,
yeah,
doing
yeah,
it without a motor. So from the off, they absolutely fell in love with the idea, and it was an insane journey. It obviously wasn't an easy challenge, but it
yeah,
had such comedy value for the Australians, and I was on the TV all the time over there, which
yeah,
looking back is proper weird because that's I'd never kind of choose a media driven lifestyle. But it was a good story, and I think that was
yeah,
the key. So yeah, almost every day there was a radio interview, and the morning shows followed me all the way across, and
yeah, yeah,
Australians off the back of it, they obviously, the occasional one kind of drove by thinking, "Who's this idiot?"
yeah,
But on
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole, yeah, people just kind of like everyone knew about it by the end for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Did you encounter any sort of creepy crawlies on the way?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, Australia's the
Yeah,
one. This you feel so kind of protected and sheltered growing up in England, and there's
yeah,
nothing here that really wants to kill you. Whereas in Australia, it's the complete opposite, in the water or on the land. So yeah, we saw wolf spiders in every kind of road station shower, and I'd be like squatting for the for the toilet 100 meters off the highway, and a brown snake would just slither on by, and you just think, for me,
yeah,
I wasn't really scared. It was just a case of, this is cool. I mean, I wanted a different experience from
yeah,
this, and I'm sure
yeah,
getting it. And I hope that snake doesn't turn around.
yeah, yeah. Would you aware that things like that, like them? So, for instance, the brown snake. For instance, if you had been bitten by one of them, it could have been, if not catastrophic, like it could have been a life ender. Like I've encountered them myself, and they're scary, scary animals because they generally will go for humans. They're not very. Some venomous snakes will obviously sort of back away, but brown snakes actually actively go for humans. So was it something you were aware of, or did you not really understand the different types of snakes out there?
Yeah, they're no joke. And I Yeah, I was totally aware of the potential damage that they could cause. Yeah, like you say, brown snakes, they're kind of like crocs in terms of they're very territorial. They'll attack when they're not hungry. Sometimes they don't need to be approached to be the aggressor. So yeah, I was